Hi everybody, it is Nicole. Today is Sunday and I think it's the 10th today. Um, so I had planned on filming a video today. I was thinking about doing a live, like a pop-up live, for everybody, but we it seems like the like life never seems to cease to get in the way of uh me wanting to do things and wanting to bring things to you guys, have fun, um and try different things. Like, I really wanted to do a live where I could crochet a beanie. There was a pattern that I really wanted to try with a stitch that I had never tried before, but unfortunately that didn't work out. So I thought, well, maybe I could do a little cooking session. That didn't work out either. And I, it's just been so frustrating because uh it's I feel like it's just been it's not that moving here hasn't been a good experience. It was definitely a great decision for my family, and I. We like it here. People here are fantastic, with obviously a couple of bumps in the road. And so the thing is that a so I'm just letting you know right now that if you so choose to, you can shut off the video and not listen to what I have to say, because you don't have to. I totally get it. Um, it's not your obligation to do so. If you do, I would greatly appreciate it if you watch the video from beginning to end, because it does help me out. It helps me out when you watch the videos from beginning to end. It helps me out when you subscribe. It helps me out when you hit the like button. It helps me out when you hit the notification button. It helps me out when you comment below. All of those things help me out. And I know, it's like, I think the saying is that when man plans, God laughs. I think that's how the saying goes. So, like, I make all of these plans of the things that I want to do. So, like, for example, there is, I've been wanting to learn this hula for the last like 6 months. Like, literally, I've been wanting to not sit down, but like really learn this hula and have it down pat, and record it, and then show it on my channel for you guys, because that is not, I guess it's not necessarily a part of my culture, because I'm not Hawaiian. I'm Hawaiian because I'm Hawaii, but I am not a native Hawaiian. So I am not native Hawaiian. I am a Japanese American, 100% a Japanese American. And so there are things that I would like to share with you about that. I don't know if that's something that you guys would be interested in. But in any case, there's that. But the thing is so like, for the past 6 months, there is a hula that I have been wanting to learn. Haven't been able to do that because there's always been something that has gotten in the way of me doing that. So, which brings me to the fact that I had these plans for today of doing a live or at least recording a pre-recorded video of either doing a cooking session or a crafting session. And because I think I was doing a really good job of recording and uploading videos on a pretty regular basis, getting myself out there and saying, that, hey, I'm here and I want you guys to watch my videos and come catch up with me and see what I've been up to. Things like that, and letting you know like what's been going on in life and all of that, and then also incorporating everything else. So, and then even the part of getting my crafting area organized and all that too. I wanted you guys a part of that as well, because it was super important to me that I share that and share that with you guys, because it was just something that I wanted to do. Sorry, I'm just moving. So yeah, it's so, and I know you're like, okay, so get to the point, because I tend to ramble on about things and stuff like that, and I'm getting there, because this is something that's super difficult, and I know that some of you are like, oh, okay, so what is it now? Um, Here we go again, and all of that stuff. And that's why I'm giving you the opportunity to say, we, I don't care, or it doesn't matter. So I'm shutting it off. So, like I said, please feel free. You won't hurt my feelings if you decide that this is not something that you're interested in, to shut the video off and go on with your day and enjoy the rest of what's left of the weekend. So, a little over a year ago, my husband's uncle, who my husband was really close with, and my husband comes from a very large family. My mother-in-law has 9 brothers and sisters, and one of the uncles that my husband was really close with, where my husband would go over and hang out with, and where he could talk to him really easily and stuff. He was unalived slightly over a year ago by a random homeless man, and it was done in a very brutal manner, and it was in his uncle's home, and it was also so horrid. This person was such a horrible person that he actually took my husband's uncle's phone away so he could not call 911 for help. He was still kicking and like trying to get help, and this said horrible person came back to check to make sure that the situation had been completed afterwards, and it wasn't. So he decided to unalive him more. And my husband obviously had taken it incredibly hard because of how close he was to him. And so over the last year or so, I have been helping my husband keep things together, and listening to him when he needed somebody to listen, and help put the pieces back together. And just recently they had the trial, and my husband's cousin, which is not his uncle's daughter, was going to court for the hearing to keep the rest of the family updated on what was going on with the hearing. And it was pretty bad. She must have been recording everything, because it was pretty well detailed. I mean, like, really detailed. And my husband would show me, so I could read the text messages and stuff like that. And it was, it was not easy things to read and look at. My husband's family come from a different background than I do. They grew up a little rough around the edges, which is fine. That doesn't bother me, because it's about who you are on the inside, not about where you come from and all of that stuff. It's a matter of if you are a good person on the inside, and what you do with that. And that's how I see people. I see people like, like, do you have a heart of gold? Do you give that part of you to the people who you care about, or do you not? And that's how I look at everybody that I have in my life, which is probably why I don't have a lot of friends in real life. I have, like, actual, in real life friends. I can count them on one hand, and that's fine. I don't have any problem with that at all. And because I have told my kids that it's not a matter of how many friends you have, because just because you could have 10,000 friends, but out of all of those friends, are they really your friends, or are they acquaintances? And if they are just acquaintances, well, that didn't even come out right. But they they're just people you just kind of know through passing. Somebody you say hi to, maybe have just little short conversations and whatnot. Real friends are people that you can tell anything to, the good, the bad, the ugly, and they don't judge you for it. Like, I have that with Thriss. I can tell her anything and she won't judge me for it. And I can tell her that, like, I hate I hate XYZ, and she won't judge me for it. And I can also be completely honest with her about everything, and she won't judge me for that either, because I'm honest with her. And so when she and I became friends, neither one of us were looking for any sort of friendship at all, because friendships take work. Friendships are two-way streets. Friendships are where it's not, I don't see it as a 50-50 thing. It's 100%. If you are not giving 100% to the person you consider your friend, then they're not your friend, because they're not because if they are not giving 100% of themselves to you, then they're not your friend either. um it always should be, I should be able to give you all of my opinion, and you'll respect my opinion whether you like it or not. And if you don't like it and you still care about me and you still understand where I'm coming from, then that means we are friends. And that's the way I look at things when it comes to friends. And people that I've thought who are my friends, I am no longer friends with them. So anyway, I'm getting off track. So okay, so um the sorry, I had something in my mouth. So the trial ended a little over a week ago, and thank goodness the verdict came back guilty on all counts. So which is awesome. And the sentencing will be done in January. I don't know what this person was being charged with. So okay, so I thought, okay, things will slowly get back to normal. Even though things, have been and still are extremely rough for my husband, because he's still coping with, all of the things that he had to read as far as what his uncle went through uh, during that particular period. So, the earlier part of this week, my husband got a phone call from his older sister. And his older sister, I think they are either 4 or 6 years apart, she called and said that his other cousin had gone up to heaven, and she is or was in her either mid to late 30s. She had recently had a liver transplant and has seemingly been doing well. So a part of the agreement was that when she got the transplant, she had to go through like AA and all of this other stuff. She was a recovering alcoholic, and so she had agreed to do all of that to make sure that the transplant was done and that she would stay in good health. And say what you want about the transplant and why it was done and why it was done for somebody like her. But it was done because she has 3 small children. The father is not involved in the children's lives. Father is not involved in her life. The other part is that my youngest son's middle name is Chad. Okay, so the reason why my youngest son's middle name is Chad is because my husband's cousin, his first name was Chad. He he went to meet God a long time ago, and it was because he was a hero. And that is why he went to meet God. He became an angel because his cousin, who my husband said was like a brother to him. And if you met this guy, if you met Chad, you would see why. He was the most happiest, rambunctious, wonderful person. He was like a child himself. He would look at life as if it was the best thing in the world. And you know, and I know some of you sometimes say to me, you should smile more and you shouldn't be so serious and all of that stuff. And the thing is that it's, for me, it's hard. And you know, maybe one day I will go through kind of like why I am the way I am. Maybe I'll do a Q&A session. Not, I don't know. Maybe you don't care. Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe it's not something that's interesting to you. I don't know. Because anyway, that's beside the point. So anyway, so I say my husband's cousin became an angel because he, my husband's cousin Chad, worked as one of those guys who worked extremely hard as he was a sewer cleaner. So he's one of the guys that would like go down the manholes and would, you know, clean up all the grossness down there and everything. And it wasn't an easy job. It was stinky, it was dirty, and it wasn't safe. And so you would always have to work with a partner, and you had to wear protective gear, and you also would have to wear like an oxygen tank along with a mask. And so what had happened was so Chad had finished a particular job that day, and his partner, I believe, if I remember correctly, it was either accidentally kicked down back into the manhole or was dropped or whatever it was. But anyway, so his cousin's partner was like, I'll go down there and get the mask. And the cousin was like, no, I'll go down there and get it. Because he, even though he was already halfway like undressed from his gear and stuff, he's like, no, I'll go ahead and go do it because you're already, you know, you've already done all of your gear. And he's like, no, it'll just take me like 2 seconds. Let me go ahead and do it. But, and so anyway, back and forth, back and forth. And so the partner went down to go grab the mask, which was mistake number one. And so he went down there to go get the mask. And because the fumes down there, which I think is methane, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, passed out. Okay. And so, and because of what the situation was, his cousin wasn't thinking all the way through. All he was thinking, oh my gosh, my partner passed out. I need to go get him and bring him back to safety. And so in that course of action, he also did not put his gear on to go down and help because all he was thinking was, I need to go get him. So that was mistake number two. And so he went down to help his partner, and what was also overtaken by the gas. Now, also above, on the surface was the supervisor. Supervisor saw that two of his employees were down there, both passed out, got on the phone, called for help. And so the supervisor was like rushing, trying to get the gear on to go get two of his employees to safety. Okay, so in the meantime, EMS shows up, and so they pull these guys out to safety, up to surface, and they are both not conscious, and they never regained consciousness. Both of them were in comas, and were in comas for 2 weeks. They went up to heaven and met with the wonderful angels above, and that's why my youngest has the middle name of Chad, because my husband wanted to name my youngest child after his cousin, who he thinks of as his brother. Okay? So the thing is that makes things even worse is that approximately 6 months after that, Dan's aunt, which is Chad and his other cousin who had also gone to heaven, was diagnosed with bone cancer, and it was stage 4. So they did everything that they could to try to save her, and but they couldn't. And so I think she kind of just gave up, because I mean, Chad was, I think, the light that burns so brightly, and in everybody's life. He made everybody laugh. He was a lot of fun, and all of that stuff. And I would always remember this story where at Christmas time we would go to my husband's hometown, and Dan's cousin would get a real Christmas tree, a real live Christmas tree, and he would pick the biggest Christmas tree that they had on the lot, okay? And Dan's cousin owned his own home, and he would get this Christmas tree home, and it would never fit. It would never ever fit. Every single year, no matter what, it would never fit. And it would just make me laugh, and of course I would roll my eyes, because it's like, when are you going to learn your lesson that you can't pick the biggest tree on the lot just because you like it? Well, I mean, you can, but it's not gonna fit. I mean, they would have to cut the stump to try to get it to fit. 9 times out of 10, it still wouldn't fit. And then, where they would cut it to the point where sometimes there would be like literal, like maybe centimeters left of the stump, so that it could go into the Christmas tree like holder, so that the screws could go into the stump, so that the tree could get watered, and then it still wouldn't fit. And I would laugh. I would be on the floor laughing and laughing and laughing at Christmas, because it wouldn't fit. And then hold on one second. Okay, so sorry about that. There were some things I needed to take care of. So the story was that, so he had gotten this massive tree. The tree was so big that the top of the tree actually touched the ceiling of his house. the top of the tree touched the ceiling of his house. So they had to like trim a little bit of the top of the tree so that it would fit, it like vertically in his house. And it was so wide that it could barely fit through the doorway. It was so hilarious. But they actually did it the old fashioned way. They went out and they chopped the tree down, the whole 9 yards. I think anyway. I don't know if I don't remember exactly if they went somewhere and bought it or if they went out like somewhere to like went out to the forest to buy it. But either way, it was always hilarious. The tree that they actually got, but it was always good fun seeing the tree that they ended up with because of the size and massiveness of the tree. They always managed to make it work. And it always got decorated and um, they would bring the tree home, he would dress up like Santa Claus and all of that. So he was always he was a good time, nice guy, and he was always nice to me. Being an introvert, it was always hard because they were all outgoing. I, on the other hand, kind of kept to myself. And so, they tried to me, incorporate me in with their group as much as possible because they, had known each other for forever since they were little, being that they were cousins. But Dan and him were like, thick as thieves. They, got into trouble all the time together. But the thing is that made it so hard was the fact that, so, Dan's cousin got, he got hurt and then he passed away. And then shortly after, Dan's aunt got sick with cancer and then she passed away. And then, of course, everything was all good and all that stuff for a good long while. And then his cousin got cancer of the liver, and then she got a transplant, from what I understand, and she was told that she had to go to AA. She agreed. She had to take care of herself, and she did the best that she could because she was a single mom of 3 young children, and the dad wasn't helping out, and all of that. So unfortunately, last week we found out that she had, gone up to heaven, and Dan, I don't think I have seen, has been in so much pain in such a long time. And it was really hard for him. And it was hard for me because there was nothing I could do to help. And so, yeah, that's kind of where I have been. And I wanted to do all these things for you guys today. And I've just been so tired. And the other day, I think it was on Wednesday, I had a therapy session, which I've been doing online with a therapist, and we were going through my childhood and all that stuff, and what caused my PTSD, and that triggered something huge, like huge, and to the point where I had woke up in the middle of the night on Thursday, and I sat up not knowing exactly what was going on. I had a horrendous nightmare. I was screaming and shouting at the top of my lungs, saying, don't you know I'm sick? Don't you know I'm sick? And everything seemed so real. I ended up not realizing really where I was, what was real, who was there, who was not, and all that stuff. And it was, yeah. Anyway, the next day, obviously, you wouldn't have known that because, you know, I'm great at like slapping on a smile and pretending like things are just fantastic, but it is what it is. And because mom doesn't have time to say that it's not okay. I don't have time for that. And I have never had a reaction like that after a therapy session. So whatever it was that I discussed with my therapist triggered something huge, because there was a lot of discussion when it came to my dad. And so and that's what the nightmare was about. It was my dad was in the dream, and it was pretty scary because I lost my dad a couple of years ago, and it felt like he was still around, and he is not. And I don't know. Anyway, I'm hoping that tomorrow I will be able to, because I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow, that after my appointment tomorrow, I'll be able to pick up the ingredients that I need to make the lumpia and the gyoza, or pot stickers, as you guys may call it. And I will record me making, making the fillings and all of that stuff for them. And then setting them aside, as you guys can see. It's because I'm going to be making one that is a meat filling, and actually one of Dan's coworkers is a pescatarian, which means she eats seafood only, and so I'm going to do that. And so that'll be a first. I've never made a lumpia or a gyoza with a seafood filling, so that's gonna be a first. And then I'm not sure whether or not I'm going to freeze them, because it's going to take some time for me to roll them and all of that stuff. I may end up just going ahead and making the filling, and then putting it all together, throwing them in the freezer, and then when it comes time for me to cook them, to just go ahead and cook them, because the potluck is on Wednesday. So yeah, we'll just keep our fingers crossed that all that works out. And yeah, so I apologize for not being able to make what I wanted to do today. But I have just been so tired, trying to keep myself together along with supporting my husband, and making sure that everybody is okay. And then the other thing is that I want, obviously, to make sure that you guys know what is going on. And then the other thing too is that I want you guys to know that I haven't forgotten. And then next is going to be that I am going to be doing, I think, probably I'm gonna see if I can crochet that stocking cap, and then working on the choreography of that hula as well. So keep an eye out for that. So in the meantime, I will talk to you guys later. I know this video was a bit longer. I just wanted to you guys keep you updated. I hope you guys made it this far, and that I haven't bored you to the ends of the earth. But I don't know. I like to talk. Uh, I know that doesn't necessarily earn me any points with anybody. Um, I don't know. Sometimes I feel really stupid about all of this stuff. Really, really stupid. But it is what it is. So, until next time, I will talk to you guys later. And more to come over the course of the next several days. Until next time, I will see you guys later. Bye.